Number 1 meeting, March meeting?
Yep.
Okay, March meeting is pulled out, we'll put that underneath. Anything else? Okay, well then, all those in favor of accepting for the consent agenda, minutes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and approval of bills, please say aye. All opposed? Okay, motion passes. Now we'll go to the March regular board meeting, and then, you know, it's gotta work, so let's make a motion. Second, we'll discuss. Okay, probably move on this, to approve the March regular board meetings. Okay, with discussion or corrections?
So, under the activity director's report, it says Mike Comm was absent, no report, but we actually did approve the report.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah, we approved his report. We approved his written report, Joe.
And it was.
We accepted it.
Accepted. Excuse me, accepted.
Yeah, it was James and Colette.
Okay.
And then under certified staff resignation, I think, but both of them might have done the seconding. I had down that it was Brad.
I think we both spoke up at the same time, so I didn't know who we took.
Yep.
Yeah, so, whichever.
And then the seconding on the adjourning could have been the same thing. I had down as Mertz.
Okay, any more corrections or additions? Any more? All in favor of the March meeting after the 3 corrections, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now we'll go into reports and Mr. Lofty, you're up first.
All right, we'll start with a few facility updates included in your board packet. I think it's in your paper copy, but if not, it's definitely in the online version. Is the asbestos inspection. Badlands Environmental was here to perform their 6-month inspection. The gal who did it was also gracious enough to share the missing inspection reports dating back to 2023. There's some binders in my office that have all the inspections for a very long time in the past. They're all in there now, and the report is included in the packet. I reached out to SP&E, the company that quoted us on the bathroom stalls for the locker rooms. Still haven't gotten an update from them as far as the time frame is concerned. I feel like every time I actually get a hold of one of them by phone, they're seemingly always out of the office. But, the inspection reports for both coal boilers, which were completed by Hartford Steam Boiler, are also included in the packet. If you run through those with a fine-tooth comb, there are some repairs that will need to be addressed in the next few months to make sure those boilers are up and running properly for the winter months next year. They are for sure on the website.
Oh, okay.
On the website?
Sorry. Elementary head cook. I had met with Joleen Vlamick last week, offering her the head cook position at the grade school, and I did visit with her today, and she has accepted that position. So we'll be looking at what our options are for an assistant cook here in the next several weeks. The kindergarten roundup was held last Thursday. 19 students and their guardian showed up for registration. Mr. Every will talk a little bit more about that. Activities director, we did meet to interview Eric Knudsen this past Monday. BM Hansen CEP. So I got a letter saying that due to the number of students at the grade school qualified for free or reduced federal meals or state 225 reduced meals, BM Hansen is eligible for the community eligibility provision through the Department of Public Instruction. So I had a long conversation with the gentleman because to be entirely honest, I didn't really understand what it was all about. So he explained it a little bit more in detail. At this point, he did some math. He said this would come with a monthly expense of roughly $4,800 a month out of our general fund to provide meals for that. So essentially it would be the money wouldn't come out of the family's pockets, but it would have come out of our general fund to fund it. But it would be at an expense of $4,800 a month. he said with the numbers that qualify, he said if I were your school, I probably wouldn't proceed with it. It's an option, we certainly don't have to. So my recommendation, should we get to that point, would be not to go with that. Teacher Appreciation Week runs May 4th through 8th. We're starting to do some planning for events during that week. The end of year celebration, we'll be celebrating the completion of another school year on Thursday, May 21st at the Eagles Club for our staff. We'll be recognizing years of service and retirements as well. Driver's education, that'll start the week of June 1st. We'll discuss some fees and some other things later on in the meeting. Leadership Committee, I visited with Mr. Every and Mr. Haas, a little bit about trying to find a date that works for all of us to meet as a leadership committee, and we will keep you posted on that. Preschool, Sarah Schindler reached out to me about preschool next year. She has concerns about the enrollment numbers and the feasibility of continuing with these low numbers. She inquired a little bit about the possibility of the school offering a public preschool and being willing to help out. We can visit a little bit more about that later on in the meeting. Mr. Shagarud, the superintendent in Pheasant and Bowden, and I met a few weeks ago to go through the activities handbook. We found some discrepancies. We made a few changes to it, obviously with highlights, and that's something we'll bring to our next co-op meeting for refinement and approval. And then lastly, one of our elementary paras, Michaela Schaefer, is currently enrolled in the PTP program at the encouragement of the previous administration with the backing of the school board. The grant that goes along with that covers a little over 50% of the expense to go through that program. So we'll be visiting a little bit more later on to discuss some of the possibility of helping her with that program. So, and that is all I have this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Waugh?
On the CEP, that's, so that's, what you're saying is he said it'd be like $4,800 that's not going to be reimbursed?
So essentially, yeah, and it would come out of our pocket every month. I was super confused when I called him, and he laid it out for me pretty good, but he just explained, you do qualify for it, but it would be at an expense to the school district as opposed to the families who pay for lunches and things of that nature. $4,800 a month times 9 months is what, $42,000, something like that.
Don't we qualify, I mean, you have to qualify to offer to offer free lunch? I mean, I'm really confused.
I think this would be for the other, would this be for the other kids other than free and
reduced? It would
reduced?
be for, yeah, everybody would essentially get their lunches for free.
Right.
At
It's a
an
free and
expense
reduced,
to the
that's the
school
goal. So yeah,
district.
this would be, if we pay $4,800, then every student would
But
get
I mean, if we pay for it, of course we can give everybody.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not like a grant.
Why would you do it before the initiative anyway?
Mhm.
There's gonna be an initiative in the fall, and
Right, it's gonna be on the ballot.
it's gonna be on the ballot, and I wouldn't even do anything until that happens.
Okay, I was confused when I was wondering.
The grant could give you money though.
I still have a fair amount of confusion
Yeah.
about it. We talked for a half hour that day,
Self-funded grant.
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Move to accept.
Okay. Vanessa moves to accept. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Properly moved and second to accept Mr. Law's superintendent report. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, summary to full principal. Mr. Haas.
Okay, so I had recorded and sent out the principal's report previously, and then shortly thereafter, Science has been working on for almost a year now, updating our curriculum. They visited with Mr. Fall. He went back over 15 years. We haven't replaced that curriculum, so we're due. They've been working with the elementary, with Mr. Doctor and Ms. Dean, and Mrs. Ketterling and Mrs. Buckmiller on picking out some curriculum. They've gone through a bunch, so they came with the recommendation. I sent that to you to look over with some information on it. And what it is, It hasn't been updated since the state standards have been updated. They went through, the things they liked about this was the flexibility to meet all of our students, with not only having a hard copy, but also having the digital versions. The digital versions can be easily changed to meet the students' reading levels. So they're covering the same material, but if you have someone who's reading at a 9th grade level or somebody who's reading at a 6th grade level, it will change the wording in there for those kids so they can understand the material and not be at a detriment and written at one level. It meets our North Dakota state standards, which is huge. It has the adaptations in there, which allows them to meet kids as different items, whether it's special ed or just within the classroom, differentiated for it. It's consistency now that we would have in grades 6, 7, and 8 to help us transition amongst the 3 different teachers. They ran a pilot program with just one of the lessons dealing with the atmosphere. The results that Mrs. Ketterling and Mrs. Buckmiller had seen, the kids really seemed to like it. There's professional development built into the cost as well. And then with the use of us school-wide being Google, the integration into Google Classroom is very seamless. So that was the recommendation, the bid that came with it. What that is a 6-year digital license with it as well. So anything that gets updated digitally goes through there in the cost of these bids for this next 6 years for the item. So that was the only addition that I had. I'll answer anything else that was on my previous report if you have any questions on it as well.
Does this include textbooks?
Yes, this includes textbooks, digital, teacher, everything in there. And the digital is a 6-year subscription. So this is not like each year we have to re-up for the digital. This would cover for the next 6 years.
Do you happen to know when it was written? The
Yeah.
reason I ask is because when I was going through it, I felt like it was outdated, which I find really weird for digital stuff. But I was kind of surprised because some of the stuff, it's like they were doing statistics that were based on like 10 years ago.
And I can find out on that for sure. And maybe it's just because that was the trial one that they didn't have the updated one. So I'm not sure, but I can definitely check in on that for you.
Okay. Any more questions for Mr. Hicks?
How soon will we? Oh, that's right.
It's on the
This is
agenda.
report,
You can't-
that's right.
We can't do anything on his
Yes.
report, so it's on the agenda. If we want to make action, we'll do it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah, if we do make action, we're supposed to implement it in the fall. So, and just kind of on your radar as well, math started last year, then the science and math came through the state of North Dakota. Middle school had kind of looked at something else. I'll get that information to you. But just so you know, off theirs, it looks like the total cost on bringing in that curriculum would be $750 for junior high. But I'll get that information out. That just got finalized with their recommendation from our math teachers here in just the last few days. So that look for that in the meeting. But that's going to be substantially less expensive than this one. Just in the process they're going about doing it. So.
Move to accept?
Is there a second?
James, second? Okay, Vanessa and James?
Move to accept Mr. Hass's 7th to 12th principal report. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
All right, elementary principal report, Mr. Everett.
Okay, we are up by 1 student. We got a new student just this last week from Washington State. Relatives in town, and she started to finish off the year. So that's why I have 1 more student. Our attendance, average daily attendance, 94.31. That's up 1% over last month from last board report to this board report. And the state average hovers around 95%, so we're 94.3. We're pretty close to the state average. Staffing report doesn't change except for our 1 maternity leave, and then we have 2 long-term subs, 1 for the maternity leave and 1 for our special ed. Our average daily attendance for teachers is down by a percentage point. 92.5. Staff is 91.1, and that continues on from last month where we had some family deaths in the family, some illness, stuff like that. That carried over a little bit. And then, as far as the average attendance, I think that there are certain people that want to use that time that they have before the end of the year, and I think some of them might be getting that out of the way. So that affects it a little bit too. So we're down by 4.5% overall. We had 25 incident referrals in March. 13 of them were from kindergarten. We have a couple of kindergartners that like to rumble. And the North Dakota State Assessment started yesterday. We did our math yesterday, and now with the North Dakota Plus, we get the results for the math back immediately. And so the good news is that we are in for, and I didn't include this in my report because I just got it today, but for 6th grade, last year, the advanced and proficient kids, there was 35% of them. This year, there's 40% of them. 6th grade, approaching proficiency and less, the 64 last year is down to 50 this year. So that's a big improvement. Our 8th grade kids, there's 18-ish of them, something like that. 80% of them moved up one level from novice to approaching to proficient, or proficient to advanced. So that's amazing. That's unheard of. 5th grade, 41 to 61, and 59 to 38, improvements in both there. 4th grade had 59% last year, 70% this year, advanced or proficient. 70% of the 4th grade, there's 24 kids in the 4th grade. 41% were approaching or less, and this year, only 31% were approaching or less. And then 77% of our 3rd grade, we can't compare that to last year, but 77% of the 3rd grade were advanced or proficient. So I'm looking to see, finished up the reading today, we'll do the writing tomorrow, and then make up tests next week, and we'll be finished with it, and it's looking good. I'm pretty excited about it. And on the next page, I have the student engagement survey results, and if you see where the green is, you get a 1, 2, 3, or 4. You get so many points for a 4, so many points for a 3, and nothing for a 2 or a 1. We increased by, in the behavioral and cognitive by 12% and 4%, and overall, we're better by 7%, 1%, and 10% in all behavioral, cognitive, and emotional over last year. So I'm pretty proud of that as well. We worked hard on that survey. We read it to the kids, went over it with them, beforehand, and we had a lot of contact in the room as they were taking the test or the survey. All our teacher evaluations are completed. Today's the deadline. March was National Reading Month. We had a lot of things going on. We had the Fargo-Moorhead Community Theater. We had a lot of reading activities and a readathon that raised $1,800, and half the money's going to go to the PTC, and the other half's going to go for playground stuff, and that's all doled out, I guess. Movie day was a makeup for at Christmas. We got snowed out the day we had our annual movie day, and so they went to see the Pirates Band of Misfits, and that kind of fit in with the theme, the pirate theme for the reading month. Pastries with parents used to be dads with muffins and muffins with mom, or donuts with dads, whatever. 300 donuts over 2 days. So it was well attended. It was a good stakeholder engagement thing for the elementary school. The 5th grade growing up talk did not take place. It's rescheduled for the 23rd. There was supposed to be some permission forms that were going out. They didn't get out on time, and so we had to reschedule. The kindergarten roundup, we had, as Mr. Loff mentioned, we had 19 kindergartners show up, and then today I was handed 4 more that are special needs kids that'll be in kindergarten, so that's 23, plus we have 6 that are being retained for parental, with permission or advice from parents. So we'll have 29 kindergarten kids all total. 4 of them won't be in the classroom. 4 of them will be in with special ed. And then lastly, field day is gonna be May 18th. The teachers are organizing that. Games and stuff for the afternoon on the 18th. The 19th, in the school gym will be the kindergarten graduation at 2 o'clock. And then the 6th grade, just an update on what they've been doing for their fundraising. They've got a pile of money raised. Their last thing will be on May 15th, on Friday, May 15th, that afternoon will be the idol competition. And he's got quite a few kids signed up for that too, so that should be fun. And that's it, that's all I got, I think.
What time did you say for kindergarten graduation?
2 o'clock, 19th.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Director?
I went too fast.
Good job to the teachers. I mean,
Yeah.
That really says a lot about.
It's amazing.
Yeah, very good.
Agreed.
Okay, move to approve, there's a second?
Also,
Hey, James and what? Here's the report that the elementary principal report of Mr. Harvey. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Activities Director, Mr. Crum.
Okay, yeah, you have everything in your packet. The FCCLA, as you all know, had a good awards on this past week. 20-some kids going to nationals. FBLA. I did hear, I have to just make this one comment about the FBLA. I had a person who is not affiliated with Harvey or the school, who was at the FBLA and commented on how the students at Harvey acted compared to 2 other schools that were there. They said were just terrible, that the instructor let them, they just ran wild. And during the conference, and our students sat, I don't know, if Chad paid them to sit quiet or whatever. That was good. So I don't know, the month of April, I've got as many things crossed out as I have written. And we're canceling another game, softball game Friday. We canceled track on Friday. Everything's getting postponed. Looks like now we may start getting games in. Scrambling to keep baseball excited. We have so many 7th, 8th, and 9th graders we don't want to lose, and we're trying to find some junior high games. We've got some with Devils Lake. We had to cancel one. We still have another one coming, and we've got one out in Carrington. So hopefully we'll get some games for them. Golf, that will be a real struggle. 35 kids are out for golf. We only have a few JV meets, and the varsity meets, you take 6. So there may be some kids that won't play a tournament, but they will still get instruction and be able to be out there. So that's pretty much it. You got it all in my report. So any questions?
Is there such a thing as just having an internal tournament so that all the kids can compete?
Oh, for golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to throw something out there at the golf course and you know, to get everybody on do something special on you know, like some weekend that's early before a lot of people start golfing. We'll try to do something with them.
Okay, any more questions for Mr. Crum?
Move to accept.
Okay, is there a second? Second. James, second? Vanessa, James, second to approve Mr. Crum's activities director report. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes. Okay,
Yeah.
business manager, Mr. Paul.
Yes, the audit's going, what they're doing now is when they have time, they're working on it. Sounds like it's getting closer and closer. We just still have to upload a few. I think the work right now, they're on the payroll reports and just uploading and making sure that it matches everything. Me and Aaron are going to continue working on the budget a little bit and more in depth. I talked to Christy Fike last week and I still haven't gotten anything from her.
anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I might just have to go out there and say, okay, I need some here.
We need before the end of the year, yeah.
But I don't wanna, like you said, we don't wanna get $50,000 bill at the end of the month every year.
Any other questions for Mr. Paul?
Move to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, probably move a second to accept Mr. Paul's business manager report. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, now we'll go to items for discussion and possible action. And we'll start with the number one, which is pre-K summer school. Rob?
All right, several weeks ago, I was just kind of approached in passing at the grade school by Buffy Olson, wondering if it would be feasible to offer essentially a pre-K type summer school in the month of June. Essentially, it would be a privately run preschool utilizing the school facility during that month. I think her intention was to meet for either 2 or 3 days a week for a few hours, and it would, like I said, just cover the month of June. She wanted me to ask if you guys thought that would be suitable or feasible, and also with that, what kind of expense there would be with renting the facility for that month. I think it's a good idea. I think anytime we get an opportunity to get kids prepared for kindergarten is a great thing. In terms of a lease, I'd be hard pressed to offer any more or less than what our current lease agreement is with preschool. So I would recommend a $50 a month lease for that pre-K program for the month of June. But yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, so you're recommending.
I'm recommending we
We
proceed.
approve it at $50, at the cost of $50 a month. Okay,
Yes.
what are the board wishes?
I think it's a great thing, and especially if we have a staff member that thinks this is needed and wants to do it, I think it's great.
So you're putting that in the form of motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve that we will have a pre-K summer school for the month of June. Top right, this is Buffy Olson at $50 a month.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second by James. Okay, the motion is that we're gonna allow Buffy to have a preschool, summer school program, pre-K, at $50 a month. Discussion? Discussion?
It'd be $50 a month rent.
Yeah. Yep. $50 a month rent.
Yep.
That's what the motion said, $50 a month rent.
Yep,
Okay.
and I'll draft up a lease agreement.
Okay,
should
all
this
right.
pass.
Any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Okay, item number 2, paraprofessional continuing education reimbursement. Mr. Law.
All right, as I discussed a little bit in my superintendent report, had a paraprofessional reach out to me. Ms. Michaela Schaefer was talking about how last year, after being heavily encouraged by the administration with the backing of the school board to apply for the PTP state grant to complete an education degree with an ELL endorsement. She received excellent recommendations and was awarded the grant. And obviously with that ELL endorsement, it's at a great benefit to our school district. That particular grant only covers tuition. They do not allow for the mandatory fees or books, etc. So total cost tuition, fees and books, etc. is nearing $13,000, and the grant is covered essentially just about $7,000 with an out-of-pocket of nearly $6,000. So essentially she came requesting wondering if the board would be willing to support her a little bit financially to complete that program. As I stated, what she does for the ELL students, and Mike, you can chime in anytime you want, is an absolute asset to our school district. There's been some kids that have come in with very, very limited English, much less very limited English proficiency.
She has great classroom management. She's got her sub certification. She subs for us quite often and does an exceptional job. So I think she's going to make a great teacher.
How far along is she?
I should graduate in 3 semesters, counting this summer.
Year and a half.
Your
So that way,
recommendation?
so that way at the elementary, then we don't need to have someone like over her, right? Like now.
Correct. Correct. My recommendation would be to help her out. I don't think it would be necessarily responsible to pay the full difference, but I do think it'd be a good measure to pay some of it. I'd be okay with somewhere in that $200 to $2,500 range as just as a support piece, just to show our encouragement and value that she adds to the district.
Okay, what are the board's wishes?
Do we have a precedent on this? With parents, I don't.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Ever.
But
Do you?
I don't think so, because the parent and teacher is fully funded, so this is different.
Yeah, this is totally different, yeah.
this is helping us out in a lot of situations.
It's always good to have a funnel of candidates too that are ready to go when you need them. So,
Is it? Like, we would do some, because this would carry over into next year, if we would do a little something now and then something in 26, 27 year, or is that a silly suggestion, or?
The 13,000 is total, not up until now, correct?
That is 2 right now.
That's 2 right now.
That's 2 right now.
Yep, and this summer, I have 4 classes, so I have about 2,000 coming out of my pocket alone this summer for mandatory fees and books.
Do you have the total cost of the program and the total that the grant will cover?
The grant covers 20,000, and it is only the per credit cost.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
This is really supplying something great for us. So,
I think Mr. Law's recommendation to pay part of it is
oh,
not the whole
definitely.
thing, so
Right.
I think that's a good recommendation.
But I mean, if she's gonna have more expenses than that too, but maybe we could think about
We could think
doing
about it.
something again.
Yeah.
Because this would be, we would pay now, and then we could pay some for 26, 27, we could, if she's got more expense coming.
So what was Mr. Law's recommendation again?
His recommendation is to pay $2,000,
2,000 to, somewhere in the range of 2,000 to 2,500.
Yeah.
I would make a motion to pay 2,500 now to go towards this, and with open for the possibility of looking into it for.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? Second. Okay, the motion is that we would pay $2,500 now and be open to the possibility of looking at the future if more needs are needed. Discussion. 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 All in favor then of approving $2,500 to help for education reimbursement, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay?
This is a bit late for this question, but what is the teacher class reimbursement rate?
Negotiated agreement.
I think so.
Oh, but they're paying the,
500 a year.
they're paying the tuition.
Let me look.
$200 per hour. Like,
No, the reimbursement for,
that's a
Continuing education.
continuing ed, yeah. I thought it was $500 a year.
I thought that's what she was asking. For, I don't think we have a cap on it.
We don't.
No,
I
we
don't
don't.
think so.
Take more, it's
Okay, we have our questions answered? Okay, Item number 3, Mr. Love, elementary staffing considerations.
All right, so when we went through and did our board retreat, we kind of talked about staffing a little bit and the plan that Mr. Every and myself had kind of had laid out. Nothing set in stone at that point in time. Since then, one of our teachers who has been working in a split role of elementary teacher and elementary counselor, Mrs. Brookheil, has come to Mr. Every and myself to discuss the possibility of having a full-time counselor at the elementary school. After going through her current schedule and some of the needs of our school, she's only seeing some of those those groups once every 2 weeks. So when we sat down and visited, in my opinion, and Mr. Every, I believe, would be on the same page, I don't believe we're in a financial position to have a full-time counselor at the elementary school. We do not have a need for it at this point. So we had approached her about continuing in that split role. It sounds like it's something she really isn't interested in. She had come up with some scheduling options that would be along those lines, but she would be essentially splitting next year's 5th grade class with Mrs. Kakowski. The enrollment projection for that class is 24 kids. So is 24 kids manageable in one classroom? I believe it is. It's kind of close to being borderline too many, but the intention would be that there would be some support staff in there if we were to decide to have a single section of the 5th grade. So it'd be my recommendation that should she want to only be a counselor, that we could offer her a part-time contract. I think a minimum of 0.5 full-time equivalency, but I don't believe there's a need for more than 0.6. So essentially my goal with that, if we were to offer a 0.6 FTE contract, I would want those classes seen every single week to have the opportunity to work with her there. Obviously, there's some individual counseling sessions that go along with it, but I don't believe, number one, there's a need, nor is it fiscally responsible to have a full-time counselor position at the elementary school.
So you're asking us to
Consider. I mean, there's several different ways we could look at it. Like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to split up that smaller 5th grade class between 2 classrooms and have one still be the guidance counselor half-time. Our initial projection was that she would be one of the 4th grade teachers and still do some of that counseling with that. That probably isn't a feasible thing either. So my question is would you guys, if she chooses only to want to fill that counselor role, how big of a contract would you permit me to offer?
And here's the thing, from my perspective, is I would like to have all this settled before we go home for the summer. I would like to have all the rooms planned out. I would have all the teachers staffed, and I would like to have the scheduling done for next year before we leave. And that can't be done with all the voices going around, what's going on here and what's going on there. And I think it's time we have to make a decision on certain things. And we can't do any of that until we do.
And I really, really strongly believe that the best way to do that is to get all parties in the room to have a discussion. That's why I asked for a leadership committee meeting.
Yeah.
Is to just do that so we can have all, instead of the, well, he said this and she said that.
100%. Yep.
we knew that was gonna be real soon, I said we could wait. I get that, you don't wanna wait till May. I mean,
How long do we kick the can down the road?
Right, I'd be willing to do like a special one, like right after your leadership one, if that could be done. you know, Sometime
Okay, how's that?
soon, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
so that way you would
You-
know,
you
not
just
have to
get-
wait till the middle of
We'll
Fair
get, we'll get our leadership committee.
And then we'll call a special board meeting?
Yes.
because we might have some more with
Yeah,
negotiations.
we might have more,
Yep.
so we're gonna table that and, until the, leadership meeting, and get that going as soon as possible. Okay? So, we good with that?
Yep.
You guys both good with that?
Yep.
So
Okay,
I'd like to hear what everybody has.
yeah, okay. All right, let's go to driver's education.
So driver's ed, right around the corner, scheduled to start the week of June 1st. In the past, the student fee for the program was set at $185 for students who will be entering high school this fall. And for students who are enrolling as junior high students, that fee is $310, and the reason for that discrepancy is we get reimbursed some of those monies if those students are entering high school. My question to you is, are we still good with those fees where they stand? And my second question to you would be, if there are openings for students who are not enrolled in our district, do we have them pay that same $185 fee, or do we charge a little bit above and beyond because they're outside of our district?
Do we get reimbursed for them?
The other one, we just have to wait for credit.
I mean, if we don't get reimbursed for them, then I would say yes, I assume.
Do you feel like you think $185 covers? We use our own vehicle.
We do. And I'm not sure the last time that was increased, to be honest with you.
I don't remember increasing that. So.
If it's, you know, like I'm saying, a student from another school wants to go outside. Yeah,
You want me to check on that reimbursement piece
I suppose.
for out of district?
We can set these prices and then maybe you just find that one out, then you
Yeah.
can send that, I mean, if you wanna get the ball rolling, 'cause
So essentially, if we don't get reimbursed for those out of district students, they would pay the $310 just like that, right? Does that make sense?
That would make sense.
yeah, that would make
Okay.
sense to me, so, okay.
It's more so guidance than anything else is what I was seeking.
Do we just have a motion, or we good?
I don't know that we need a motion.
I think if we keep it the same.
Yeah, we keep it the same, there's no motion needed, okay. So, I was wondering. Okay. We'll then go to, Council of National Convention.
Yes. Received a request from Mrs. Galvin, who has I'll read the email to you guys. It says she has an opportunity to attend the national conference for the American School Counselor Association this summer in New Orleans. She's a member of the North Dakota School Counselor Board, and as part of that, they're sending her to a leadership conference called Elevate the few days before the conference. They're paying for the hotel and the round trip airfare. She says she'd like to attend the 2026 American School Counselor Association Conference, July 11th through 14th, 2026. So this would be after that initial Elevate conference in New Orleans. This conference will allow me to attend 4 days worth of breakout sessions, general sessions, and network events, allowing me to enhance my school counseling knowledge, improve my school counseling program, and network with other school counselors to provide best practices in the field. After reviewing the conference material, she selected a number of educational sessions that will allow her to further her knowledge and understanding of school counseling, which in turn will help our students improve their academic achievements. So the breakdown of the estimated conference costs. Her airfare obviously is covered by the North Dakota School Counselor Board. Transportation to and from the airport to the hotel is estimated at $100. The cost of the actual conference hotel stay is estimated at $1,000, meals $200. The conference fee is $499 for a total of $1,699. She could, with the sessions that she has signed up for, she can earn up to 7.65 continuing education credits for attending that conference. I think it's a good opportunity. Obviously, it helps us, especially that airfare piece is covered. Typically, anytime you go to a national conference, that airfare piece is a pretty big part of the expense with that. I guess my recommendation would be to approve that and allow her to go to that conference.
Say that number one more time.
$1,699.
Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
So if we did a reimbursement of $200 per credit, that would come out to pretty close to that dollar amount.
Yeah.
Because we could do it, yeah, but we could otherwise.
Right.
So,
Conference, then we're,
So how about, I move that we reimburse Mrs. Galvin $200 per credit hour.
Okay,
I have a question. Could that be under CT money?
could be, but is she under CT?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she could be, she should be able to get some money, right?
because
Yes. Yes.
we have to pay the $200 per credit anyway, because that's.
She would call under CT money. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have to, because it's in our negotiated agreement. We
And
don't
then
have to.
we don't need a motion then, we could just take care of it.
Because that's the same thing for me, going to national.
Okay,
Let's check that out,
Yeah, let's
I'm
check
almost
that out, and then.
check that out, if
reimburse her
for some
for-
reason there isn't, we can come back.
Yeah, and then we can reimburse her for
Okay.
the credit.
All right, so we're gonna check into that CT, we'll cover that. Okay, let's go to, can we do that? Okay, let's go to FCCLA.
23 students, is that what it is, qualified for the National FCCLA Conference starting July 5th in Washington, D.C. They've already started booking hotels, flights, etc. So one of the things that we need to consider for that, Mr. Verbitsky is going along, obviously, to accompany the FCCLA students, but he will not be under contract at that time. Because it's outside, he's not under a teacher's contract yet. So I think it's only fair to consider a means of reimbursement for him or compensation for him for that time spent at the FCCLA conference.
Since he's not under contract, he probably would qualify under CT money?
Right.
I did, I had Mrs. Walsh ask, and I said,
Okay,
no, not even like next fall when we teach.
okay, so I think we need to think a little bit about this.
I thought. I thought she was gonna find out if their FCC in their group, and this was gonna pay.
Okay, so you wanna hold back on this? Or?
She was gonna ask them. Because sometimes, right, we give it to the kids,
Yeah.
yes, and they pay for it. I think a lot of times the FCCLA, they would pay cash. And I didn't know her too, because she's not going, so. But I don't,
Aaron, you have nothing?
she's not here.
You have nothing on that?
No.
Okay, so let's hold off on that then, and we can do that at the special meeting, we take care of this other one then, but we need to definitely consider that. Okay, all right. FBLA, you got students speaking, Jim?
Yep.
They wanna come up?
These were the kids that were good?
No, these are the bad ones, that's the problem.
So I guess we'll start off with our names, so everybody knows I'm Matthew Armstead. I'm Michael Schindler. And we are the 3 people that qualified at the state FBLA conference for the national conference that runs from June 29th to July 2nd. We're seeking funds to help get us there. I think Mr. Fall signed us up already, but we're looking for some more fundraising opportunities. So I qualified in that agribusiness category, first in that competition. The top 4 in each competition qualified. So I'll be going for that contest.
I qualified. I placed first in business communication and second in advertising, so I would be taking business communication.
I qualified. I took first in cybersecurity and first in networking infrastructure, and I'm going for cybersecurity.
You look like a cybersecurity guy.
Very impressive, very
That's
impressive,
great.
very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for them?
Good luck.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so, they are seeking the standard,
It's $200 per student, isn't it? Up to 1,000.
that sounds correct. $200 per
I
student,
think
up to
that's,
1,000.
yeah, that I'm at.
So, is there a motion to,
I'll make the motion to do $200 per student towards their national conference.
second? Okay, probably move second, we'll give each of you $200 to represent us at the international conference. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes. And congratulations to the best of luck. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, with that, we're going to Sim, so I think as a board, we need to do a motion to say that we are going to really allow him to go. He's now won't be a FBLA teacher, he'll be a business manager, so I think it's good, and I think those two is needed. So I would entertain a motion that we allow Mr. Powell permission to go and supervise them for their trip. And as I said, you'll be covered under CT expenses. So we're not worried about expenses. We're just basically we're giving approval that we are allowing him to go.
I'll make the motion that we allow Chad to be able to go.
Okay, is there a second to that? Okay, probably move and second it, that we give Chad permission to accompany that group to national convention. All in favor, please say aye.
On
Okay.
another note, I did ask my advisor at the state convention, if we still have FBLA with no business teacher, we have to offer some business classes.
All right, well, that'll all have to be worked out too, hopefully. Okay, next thing we have is a high performance lease adjustment.
Yeah, so, John Franklin reached out to me, I suppose it was about a month back, informing me that they were gonna be, that the Harvey Wells County Booster Club was gonna be taking over the treads and equipment for High Performance Incorporated. So what I feel we need to do is obviously we need to change the term, or change the name on the lease to Harvey Wells County Booster Club. With that, for years, we have leased that space in the weight room at a rate of $1 per month for using that space. One of the things that I'm concerned about with that is that if we're only charging $1 a month lease for space for athletics, but we're charging $50 a month to lease space for academics, I think that sets a really dangerous precedent, and I believe it. The public eye would think, oh, they value athletics over academics, which I know is not the case here. So it'd be my recommendation that if nothing else, we level the playing field and have that lease be $50 a month to match up with other lease agreements that we have in our school district.
Okay, what are the board wishes?
So if I recall, our reasoning for doing $1 a month was because money was coming back into the school for that program. Do I recall correctly?
This goes to the students, not to the school. I mean, some of them couldn't pay for
High
it.
performance.
Didn't they write a check to the school?
think the one I've ever seen is the $12 one.
Okay,
I think it's the, I think it was also the students, I think that sometimes, and then if they had some that couldn't afford it, they would like grant them some.
Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter because this is gonna
no, so let's,
be the same.
Aaron's recommendation is to turn it over, allow the Booster Club to turn it over and charge them $50 a month to be, consistent across the board. What are your wishes?
I'll make the motion to, let the Booster Club go ahead, grade, take it over, and then to charge the $50 per month.
Is there a second to that? Second. James? Okay, probably move and second it. Change the, agreement so that it would read, from high performance, it would go to the Harvey Booster Club and charge them $500 a month. $550 a month. I almost got that too. $50 a month. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Okay, so the motion then was that they will take the work at $50 a month. Okay? All right, last thing that we added then was the science curriculum. So, Mr. House, Mr. Edwards, or Mr. Goff, whoever wants to talk about it.
So I went in during this time, kind of been looking around with the science curriculum and what they have. Again, I'm not 100% sure when the hard copy book is. I can go look at the one that was sent to them. What I am finding is that the digital version we're doing is first edition. With this product code, it's just saying 06, so I don't know if this is going to be a 6th edition that we are receiving. Because what we have is a middle school, yeah, it's saying that it's our middle school discipline student bundle 6 years. So, I don't know when this was printed.
And you have a good point that it's possible that what was available on the website was older.
Right,
Just something to look at.
well, yeah, the professional like the program stuff that I'm looking at when I go in and I just look at our settings. What I do know is that the district account is a TCI Demo California, just because it's a California-based probably curriculum company, I'm not sure. It's TCI Science Reviewer is what it said. I do know all of these are digital. I would be very surprised that all of these digital lessons are not updated on a regular basis, that they would be 10 years old, but I can't guarantee that. It is a very cool thing if any of you got a chance to go in and look at it with the My Programs. It's Bring Science Alive. There's adaptations, genetics, ecosystems. I know Mrs. Ketterling and Mrs. Buckmiller and Mr. Doctor and Ms. Dean do consistently go through and look at it. So I'm confident if they feel that this is best for our kids, that the stuff that they feel we are going to receive will be the most current and fit their teaching.
And I think the reality is that eventually we have to get in a cycle where every 10 years or whatever for science, for reading, for math, and this could be the start of it, where we, don't have to buy curriculum every year, but we have to buy a certain thing every 10 years or every so many years. Just kind of makes sense to me.
All right, say the total cost.
$15,545.
Did you have, I didn't
I
have.
put, his email, I went on and I printed it out.
Say that again?
15,545.
That's cheap.
15,961 with shipping.
With shipping.
Oh, with shipping, oh, okay.
15,961.25.
I know.
Okay,
Again.
what are the board wishes?
We spent, at schools I've been to, we've spent $30,000 for curriculum. That's pretty reasonable.
But more grades though.
What's that? Yeah, well,
Fourth grade, cause it's only.
elementary, yep.